Welcome to my paradise. They're all here. They're all here. What's up, my guys? We're talking about excavators. We have pretty much all of our equipment back here for Family Day of 2023. We've talked about this previously in a couple other videos that we would be bringing equipment tours to you guys. It's here. I'm gonna have it in about 3 to 4 parts. I'm gonna break down our excavators for you, talk about when we bought them, why we bought them, why we buy them versus rent them, what they do for our business, and what they do for our guys on the daily. And that's kind of the gist. And I can go into the nitty gritties on hydraulics and stuff like that with you guys, but I'm just gonna go a pretty good overview of every little small point of the machine that I think is vital to us moving every day. We've all been waiting. Let's go check out a PC210. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of our flagship machines for Sycon. This is a PC210 LC, as you can see, made by the one and only Komatsu. I was briefly a cat guy. When I first got into this, I thought Caterpillar was the way to go. And the machine that they have, that a lot of you guys run, that's Versus 2, the 210, is a 320 platform. So you cat guys, I wanted to be able to speak to you guys too. This machine is the largest machine we own in the fleet. It serves a couple of purposes for us. It works on the dirt crew. It's got a 4-foot bucket application, and just a little bit bigger to be able to sling dirt on some of these 1 to 2 acre small dirt work platforms. It also has, I want to say max digging depth is 17 or 18 foot on it. A lot of times, as you guys can see, actually probably right here, double stack trench boxes in the middle of 13th Street this week. This big girl, that's where she came from. Drop that bucket, grab those trench boxes. She's got the weight, counterweight in the back end of her. That's why it's not a zero tail swing machine in this specific application for what it was desired to be used for, right? Don't really necessarily want anything out of balance with a zero tail swing machine. You're gonna usually have all the room you need. And when you're dragging double stack trench boxes, normally you're gonna be working deep, you're gonna have plenty of room. You need that counterweight on the end of the machine, right? To ensure that you're not toppling over, your guys are in the hole. So one of the main points about this machine, I briefly touched on this on a video a couple weeks back, but I didn't explain it really thoroughly enough. This coupler right here, your pins, this is where the machine pins are. Then we have what's called a hydraulic coupling. This hydraulic coupling, this release right here hydraulically comes back in and allows the plate to come off of the bucket and the operator to allow nobody have to be right next to him to allow to drop this bucket, come over here, pick up his trench box and his rigging, place it down, spin over and grab his bucket, and never have to leave the cab. For the love of God. It's been a morning already here, ladies and gents. Steel tracks, obviously. The hydraulics, one of the things I love about this PC210. Let me get up here. Oh God. That's what I get, bro. If you can get in here, Will. One of the main things I love about this Komatsu gear is all 5 or 6 grease zerks that run hard line all the way up to the knuckle of this machine, right? Those hard to reach spots for the grease zerks that the guys sometimes may or may not get, well, they're all right here. They've got to come up here, check their def, check their oil anyways. It's right here, bap, 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 and we've got grease and we're ready to go. All your hydraulic pump is right here. All your motor parts are right here with these 2 buckles. It's so, here, you want me to, yeah. All the big hydraulic pumps right in here with all our hydraulic hoses, very easy to work on. We got to pull this plate right here, bam, 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 take it up, and we can get to that hydraulic pump very easy, and that turntable's right here as well. Motors back here, you can check all your antifreeze, oil, all of that, all right here. And then what I was saying is these grease lines run up to and distribute grease from right here where the operator's standing to exactly where we need it. And I absolutely love that. And I know it's on a few other machines, but golly, who do we have in this thing? Shorty McShort. My Atlanta. Let's talk to you guys about this 210. I love the spacious cab. It's super comfortable. As you can see, I'm 6'2", 6'3", depending on the day. Obviously, you can tell I can fit in here. It's very comfortable. I love the armrests too. I'm not a big fan of the slender stick style. I've been so used to, I mean, I built a business in a Mini X and obviously ran other track hoes, but I like to have a little bit of hydraulic buttons up here on top to play with. You know, obviously they're not used quite in this application, but I just like the style of it and the grip feel of it in a machine, right? I love how everything is very simplex. I love how everything's super simple right here, super easy for the operator to get to. He doesn't even have to move his body. And I know that sounds so really simple, but honestly, guys, when you are talking about buying these machines versus renting, right? Let's work into that. It's a very big machine, number one. It's gonna hold its value, and it's also gonna have resale value if I wanna get rid of it. But we know bigger machine platform, they're gonna last a little bit longer. They're gonna have a little bit of longevity to them. This machine, I think, has just a little over 750 hours on it. But we bought it with a couple of these other machines we're gonna show you this morning for the purpose of we needed something the dirt guys could use, our sewer guys, and sometimes in the water application. So we're gonna use it 3 different ways. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to rent it. Sounds like it's gonna be busy constantly. If you're gonna have that machine working 25 days of the month and it's working nonstop, buy it. Don't waste your money renting. I know it's hard sometimes and people will tell you no because of financing and everything else, especially with the times that we're in. Please understand that if you're gonna keep one working all month long for 6 months plus, buy that machine, sell it next year if you're not going to use it, but you're going to be money ahead. Drop your comments of the PC210 below. It's a pretty standardized machine that most of you guys have seen across any industry, construction company like us. We have this size of machine. It's the standard excavator for the industry, so I absolutely love it. Not all of them got them windows tinted though, come on, you know. I love tinting these windows. I know most people would be, why are you tinting the windows? Well, one of the big factors is keeping the filters clean and keeping the doors closed and keeping these guys cool. You don't want them in a magnifying glass all day. It's harder on your equipment to try and keep them cool because they're gonna sit here and press the button just to get them colder. I mean, if they get hot, you want to get colder. I mean, you're sitting in here, right? Tint the windows, save yourself a little bit of money, hopefully in the long run, but your operator is also happy and wants to get in this machine every day. And it just looks bad to the bone too. All right, guys. Number 2. This is actually one of our older machines. It's got almost 1,900 hours on it now. This is a Cat 308D CR. It's a utility man's have-to, in my opinion. It's about a 20,000 pound machine. It's got that articulating boom out in front of the cab so we can pivot from the front of the cab and basically swing that boom up. It's not completely 90 degrees, but it does have a good 60-degree variance either side so we can stay put and not move tracks. That is the biggest reason why most utility guys buy these 308s, is that articulating boom out in front. There's actually a machine smaller than this one called a Cat 307, and it has a fixed boom that sits back inside the cab where it doesn't allow it to articulate at all. 2-foot and 3-foot bucket application, so it's mainly its job is to run water, and that's about all it does. It's ran a few sewer lines, but it's not anything very deep, obviously, or having to carry a trench box or anything like that. A small 4-foot aluminum, but that's about it. It does have a coupler on it. It's not hydraulic, it's manual, but it still works just as fast. With being a smaller machine footprint, usually you're gonna be working around a smaller ditch, guys can get in and out, that kind of thing. That's why we didn't go the hydraulic coupling route there. The blade on this machine is absolutely vital to this application. A lot of times you're out there digging one water line, and there's a lot of times a bed machine can't get in there, and just turning that blade and backfilling your ditch right behind you can be used for a couple of different applications, right? This is what they call the next gen cab. Just 2 seconds. I'm not sponsored by Red Bull yet. All right. Whew. This thing's stanky. God almighty, boys.
Does it stink in there?
It stinks. Get you a whiff.
Dang, boy. It smells like... it smells like butt. Better not throw up, dude.
God. Jesus. Oh.
Something's swollen in there.
Oh. Wow. I'm crying. I didn't puke. Does it smell a little bit? Does it smell?
It smells a little bit.
What a nice surprise. What a beautiful surprise.
Great way to start the day. You know?
Oh.
Maybe that's why they keep it like that. That way, whenever they get there in the mornings, it's their first whiff going, you know.
Oh. Back to the video here. That'll probably be an event right there, boys and girls. Does it smell yucky? I think so too, baby. All right, well, I'm not climbing in the cab today. Like I was saying earlier, this machine, oh my God. There's no spoiled milk or anything in there, but it's like mildewy. We just found out that the side glass, the top view side glass is leaking a little bit, and there's a lot of mildew coming, building. All right, so this is the next gen cab. The coolest thing about this machine, I've got to say, is, Will, can you come around here? That skid steer button right there. See that? It's got a little skid steer on it like that. So essentially, I can hit that button, tuck my boom up against myself just to the side. My left joystick is then gonna run the entire left side. You can't be shaking, bro. There we go.
Oh my God.
One of the coolest features is that skid steer feature. So here, let me get you guys. Let me hook you up. Let me hook you guys up. Let me hook you guys up here. You got a little something there. Next gen cab, it's got that skid steer application. It turns your whole left joystick. So just like you're running a normal excavator, your whole left joystick then controls your tracks, and then and basically you're just worrying about your blade, right? It takes the foot application and pushing back and forth with one hand and worrying about your blade with the other. It is absolutely crucial. It's really, really, really cool if you haven't ran it at all. They've been out for a while, obviously. The next gen cab brought so many new features. The panel, I've got to say, this thing's got 1,800 hours on it. This machine has laid a lot of pipe, and the new next gen instrument panel and all the cameras, everything has stayed together. Everything has functioned properly. Oh, gesundheit. Bless you, Will. Everything has stayed together through 1,800 hours. I mean, literally, this knuckle was completely covered in grease. Spent, I did not, but we had a gentleman named, shout out to Cochran Construction for blowing every one of these machines off and making them look like they do today. No, absolutely. This thing, other than it being really smelly, is absolutely crucial and influential in our business. I don't know if we can work without it at this stage, honestly. So let's go check out another one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This right here, guys, this one I can talk a little bit more on. Everybody's got a 210. Everybody's got a 308. But not everybody has a Komatsu PC 138 USLC. I promise you. Look at these pads, guys. Look at this. Those are rubber. They're not steel. And you can come in here and blap, 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 and just replace this pad. How cool is that? This thing has right at 1,000 hours on it. And that's what the tracks look like compared to steel. You guys have seen this thing in 2nd Street, digging sewer, digging water. That's what most of this life of this machine is gonna be. So come check this out. I'm standing at the back of the tracks, okay? In line with where the track path is. If you turn around, Will, you guys see that that has a counterweight past the tracks. But in this application, it doesn't. So obviously, two machines used for two different applications, right? But what I'm trying to get at is this no counterweight. It does still have a counterweight, but it's much smaller, much tighter platform. The zero tail swing is what they call it. So everything stays within your track footprint as you're operating. This thing has, I wish we could have 3 more. Honestly, I'm down in love with them. One of the coolest things about them, and Encon, Rototilt, any of you boys, shout out to you guys. I want one on this machine really bad. Don't necessarily know enough about the brands to say anything different, but I saw some at Con Expo, and you know, I couldn't really fathom the 210 doing it or the 308, but this platform, this is a 35,000 pound machine, zero tail swing. If I had a Rototilt or an Encon or whatever brand you wanted to say on this, the guys could essentially have, you know, pick up and tear apart asphalt. They could drop it, and they could have 8 or 9 applications and maybe reduce some labor there when this machine's on site. I'm really talking about doing that on this machine. I think it's about the only machine in our fleet, track-hoe wise, excavator wise, that we would. And I know a lot of you guys up north do it a lot more than we do, but we deal with a ton of rock down here. And any more pinch points for something to break and go, ain't no good. So let's check it out in here. Let's give it the smell test. All right, it just smells like dirty feet and dust. So let's get in here. Oh, somebody ain't been laying back up in here. Who's in here now? Komatsu 138. This thing, we bought this with the 210 and our wheel loader that you guys will see in the next video. This thing has a blade on it, just like our it's basically an enlarged 308. And for a long time, the market didn't have a 308 platform, anything larger, right? It does have a fixed boom, obviously, with being the size of the machine it is. There's nobody else on the market that does the articulating boom past that 22,000 pound range. With the zero tail swing footprint, we can move this machine and be effective in any direction, right? The blade, yeah, I know some of you guys probably don't want them, but with that zero tail swing, it helps stabilize the machine digging. Although it is very center of gravity, it holds very true when it's digging. You can load trucks with this thing and not worry about doing the topple number and doing the jar number. Really nice setup, very simplistic. I like having the bells and whistles, but I also like having functionality and reliability, right? I don't want a bunch of crap in here shutting down the machines or causing downtime, because that's the #1 killer for us, right? Again, very simple mechanism up here, runs pretty much everything, your tracks, your wipers, your AC, heat, radio, it's all, well, I'm sorry, your radio's over here, but the slider door I do like in this zero tail swing. It gives the cab quite a bit more elbow room, and rather than a traditional, you know, side door, and that's because they get to keep the cab rounded instead of that traditional square cab in the zero tail swing. As you see in the 210, it opens up full wide because they have a little bit longer down the track, right? The next track-hoe is this machine's big brother that I really want. For the utility side, it would be the Komatsu 238, which is just a bit bigger than the 210 in this platform. That's one of the ones I'm really after, but we're gonna need a 360 or something, a big girl, before we need that. So guys, I hope I got everything that you guys were asking for. You guys got to see tours and go around and see. We do have one more excavator for you to show you, but it's got a funny story, so let's go check it out. Drop that like, hit them comments with any questions you've had up to this point, all right? We need that feedback. We're trying to make sure we're bringing you guys what you want to see, and I don't know exactly what you want to go in detail on this. So you want to talk about it? We talk about motors. You want to talk about hydraulics? Do you want to talk about couplers? Do you want to talk about blade, no blade, buy versus rent? Hit that stuff in the comments, and we'll make sure and get back to you guys. We're fighting rain today, guys. I'm trying to help you guys out, okay? I want you guys to make sure you can see my crystal clear face. The guys will probably give me crap about putting the Sandy girl in the video, but you know what? This machine has done great for us. It really has. And it even has my name in the model number. It was meant to be at one point in time. It's an SY 135C. We actually didn't need this machine when we bought it. We got caught in a little bit of a predicament. This machine will be with us pretty much for forever. We can't sell her. Basically, years ago, we had a feller that still works here, shout out to Dylan, drop a tree right in the middle of the lights up top. So essentially, when that happens, we're renting it. The rental company can't take it back and rent it out again because then it has a defective cab and could ensue injury on somebody, right? So you have two options. You can put a new cab on or you can buy it. That's how we ended up with the Sani. And you know what? She's done really good to us. And you see her up at the screen yard a lot of times. You don't want some high dollar machine up there. So it's good to have this machine, you know, sitting here at the yard or able to go load trucks. And not only that, it's nice to have another 140 size machine sitting around. Say the guys are digging in green space, you know, with the 210 and they want another track go behind them just backfilling. This machine, mob it in, doesn't cost anybody anything. It runs great. It blows cold AC. It's got a Yanmar motor in it and a Kawasaki hydraulics, so it runs good. Now, I will show you guys this. This is least to be desired. It is absolutely bare minimum, bare, bar none, anything. The seat's pretty comfortable, I've gotta say. They didn't skimp on your armrests. Your controls are a little bit wonky. I know I was talking earlier on the Komatsu feel, but you know how that feel is just perfect. And this is just a little clunky. And I feel like the response in the Sani Girl is not quite that Komatsu, but you get what you pay for, right? Does she do the job? She absolutely does the job. And she's been sitting in the yard for a minute, huh, guys? Sheesh. Kids aren't really gonna be climbing on this one. This one's just here for looks. She's done really good to us and look to have her for a long time. What's up, dude?
I really want to be in this video too.
You sure can. Stay in here. All right, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed some time checking our excavators out. We've been telling you for I don't know how long we were going to bring equipment tours to you guys. Well, here they are. Drop a big old
Like in the sky.
like and subscribe, guys. Seriously, drop a like on this video. Excavators, what's built us. We're gonna have plenty more coming. If you guys want some more details, drop them in the comments below. I would love to go a little bit more in depth on it if you guys want it. Hopefully I've covered most of all the general questions. I know I didn't get much into buy versus rent, but we can go in depth on that. Thank you guys so much for watching and hit them.
Peace out and like in the sky.